correct my statement of what I thought this was. Based on what you hear, anything flagged for you on the staff recommendation on Chapter 2?
I'm just a little confused at the moment about this. Ask somebody else.
Pass and come back. Mr. Rentz.
First of all, like you, Chairman Eisenberg, we haven't had a chance to look at the language. We just saw it this morning when we walked up here, and we prepared our comments and prepared our presentation today based on what we did have before us, which was the sixth draft. So I'm not prepared today, given that representative contingency, to talk on the proposed staff change that's in this thing. We will definitely provide feedback to you. I think that's appropriate. We've done that well along the line. But what I will do is talk to you about the language that's on page 53, lines 34 and 35 of Chapter 2.
Page 53, lines again, please.
Yes. The first part of that bullet was what was in the fifth draft.
The ministerial bullet?
Under ministerial exemptions.
Lines 30 and
34.
31.
Temporary water transfers up to 1 year in duration. That was the language that was in the fifth draft.
Okay.
The sixth draft says temporary water transfers of up to 1 year in duration exempted from CEQA pursuant to Water Code Section 1729. I myself personally am not an expert in that code, but many of the people on the Ag Urban Coalition that reviewed that and had comments that we've submitted to you, and I won't be redundant because of time on it, expressed concern with that language in that under Code Section Water Code Section 1729, only one year transfers under post 1914 water right permits or licenses that are subject to review by the State Water Board would be exempt. The result of the language that's now in the sixth draft is that it excludes through Delta temporary transfers under pre-1914 water rights and consequently subjects them to appeals to the council as part of your authority and covered acts. And we've always believed, and I think the council believes, that the overriding policy is water transfers is a crucial tool to achieving the co-equal goals of statewide water supply reliability and restoring the Delta as well. And we are concerned that this new language will in fact impede the flexibility of the process. Thinking about it for a minute, even though you have a specific timeline, it does add up to a significant number of days that the process goes through before you make your determination if somebody was to an appeal, a consistency determination, and therefore would have we believe, a chilling effect on water transfers and using that as a tool to increase flexibility. So our proposal to you is to go back to the language that you had in the fifth draft, which merely stated temporary water transfers up to 1 year in duration should qualify.
And because you have not had time to review the staff proposed changes appearing on the open issue list, you have no opinion today on that.
Yeah, I cannot comment on.
Okay, Mr. Machado.
I have no comment on this.
Okay, Mr. Wilcox.
I don't have any comment.
Mrs. Lotnick.
Actually, I do, Bill.
Go pull that mic towards you.
I got it. Thanks.
Thank you.
I also will not be able to comment on the language that's been proposed today, but I guess I wanted to make a couple of comments. I agree with what Mr. Rentz just identified as being able to have the flexibility and the timing of additional review that all these water transfers go through already. The additional time makes them almost unworkable. The water transfers are really opportunistic. If there's a need for a water transfer, our department works very hard to identify a potential willing seller when there's a willing buyer. And there's a very, very short window of time in which we're able to convey that water, because there's not always capacity in the state facilities. I suspect the same is true for the Central Valley Project as well. So that's one of our really big concerns. The other point I want to make has to do with this language I'm a little nervous about when I hear serial water transfers. Again, just to repeat, water transfers occur as a result of a need. And sometimes that happens in multiple years. Last year, 2011, we didn't transfer any water. Obviously, it was a really wet year. There was no need for it, and therefore no water transfers. Sometimes they occur, 1 or 2 years in a row. Sometimes they don't. So I really don't like that language. I'd like to see something else used, and if we're going to continue to discuss that, it looks like it's on one of the other items. So just wanted to make the point from DWR.